Hello.
I'm Abby, Alvarado, principal at Westaco High School.
Manuel Science, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Come on in, take a seat.
Thank you.
So how was your drive over here to our school?
It was actually pretty good. I met some of the faculty members here coming to the school.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
nice.
I hope they greeted you well.
Yes, actually they
Okay,
did. Yes.
good. Well, I welcome you first of all to the interview. We will be interviewing you for the history teacher's position here at our campus. So first of all, let me just let you know that I'm going to be asking you a series of questions just to get to know you and more about your abilities for this teaching position. And then afterwards, we will let you know, okay? But first of all, let's start off with by you telling me about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm actually a very energetic individual. I'm very passionate about what I do. I strive, for perfection. I use the Vince Lombardi philosophy.
Good.
That being that, I chase for perfection, even though we might not hit it. But one thing we hit along the way is excellence. So that's the type of individual that I am.
Good. That's good to know. Alrighty. Well then, tell me, why did you decide to become a teacher?
I decided to become a teacher years ago. I can remember when I was in 7th grade, I had a teacher by the name of Miss Thompson.
Okay.
She actually, she was the best teacher I've had since when I was growing up that I can remember. Not only because her instructional, abilities, but it was just the fact that, she took not only her extra time to make sure that all the students understood the material.
Yes.
And when, there are several students that didn't get it, and I've had teachers that just continue going on their lesson. But Ms. Thompson actually would take additional time from outside of the classroom to make sure that she probed to find out what actually was going on. Mm-hmm. And she got to know us individually, personally, so she was able to understand what we went through as students. And I saw myself, now that I was growing up, just like that. I didn't realize at that moment, but I came back and reflected, and I told myself that I want to be also a person that not only influences, student minds, but, makes a difference in their lives.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you say that you share that, because that's what we aspire for teachers to be, going that extra mile.
Definitely.
Good. So let's continue. How would you encourage a student in your classroom to learn? How would you encourage them? That's
a good question. I'm actually very passionate about making sure that everybody comprehends, especially because I try to be a perfectionist. As a matter of fact, last week I was doing also a lesson plan, and I was teaching several class periods, and I was advised that there's one student that takes a little bit of time to understand and comprehend the material. So what I ended up doing, I asked him a simple question. We're talking about the branches of government. So once I asked him a question, and he had a little trouble, getting the answer. So I went ahead and told him, you know what, Josue, you're on the right track. We're going to come back to you. So I asked for a volunteer. Somebody gave the answer. And after giving the answer, I came back to Josue and I asked him, okay, Josue, so what are the branches of government? And he was able to build confidence from the prior, from his peer. So that gave him more confidence. So that's the way that I attack it. In the end result, Josue ended up being one of the best participants that I had in the classroom by always raising his hand and volunteering to discuss and answer questions. So that gave me a lot of positive insight that I was going the right direction with that.
Good. That sounds like everybody was being encouraged by you, and it's good that you make them build confidence. Good.
Yes.
Okay. Now, how would you structure your day?
I would structure my day with my I have in my phone. I have a meeting agenda. Okay. Since I'm always with my 2 jobs and my kids. I have a lot of tasks that are going on. So what I do the day prior, when I go ahead and enter all my meetings, all the events that I'm going to be doing for the next day, to make sure I prioritize from the whole day, and that gives me a better outlook on how much time I'm going to spend in what duties, things of that sort. So I put into whatever the highest priority things that I'm having in my next day, and then I start attacking it. Once I'm completing with that task, I go ahead and clear it out and go ahead and continue. We see that throughout the day sometimes we have more duties that come up, or all of a sudden we have things that come up that you're not expecting. So me knowing that, I anticipate that, I leave room to be able to make modifications as my day goes, and then at that point I re-enter calendar events that I can make sure that I'm not only on time, but I'm making sure that I eliminate all my tasks throughout the day. And then at the end, I was able to reflect. I go back and look at all my entries, make sure that they were eliminated, and hopefully it was a positive day in the end.
Okay, good. Prioritizing is very important.
Yes.
Okay, so for the following question is, how would you establish and maintain a good communication with the parents of our students?
That's a real good question. Understanding that the parents, in order for the students to make sure that they go the extra step, they have the individual attention from their parents as well. Which in my case, I believe that is very important from that point. What I did last week, actually, I was in a little peewee league that I started as far as training young kids to be able to be better as far as not only learning the disciplines and respect and everything, all the other attributes on discipline and hard work and determination. What I did is I allowed the parents to come in and observe me on my daily routine, and therefore I gave the students homework on additional playbook that we had, so they can go ahead and get ahead of the game. And then I told the parents, I had a separate meeting with the parents and met with them, and I told them that the importance on them following up with them, which is the most important thing. Because I told them, as from my perspective, me being a parent, I understand how difficult it is, because sometimes we have multiple jobs that we have to address, and we have to put food on the table, pay the bills, and sometimes we do leave out the time for our kids, and which is one of the most important things that we need to make sure that we address. So I told them that I have additional time to make sure that me as a facilitator, presenter, I can ensure that I guide them to be as far as so we can help each other in developing our kids, which is I consider them my kids as well, because I spend a lot of time with them as well. So that's the way we collaborate with the parents and the students in that perspective.
Good. I'm glad that you keep the parents in mind.
Yes.
Okay. So finally, tell me why we should hire you for this position.
Knowing that several applicants can do the duties or the description job in reference to the teacher here at Westaco. The reason why I think you should hire me is because I'm an individual that I don't only go the 100%, I always go the extra inch, which is, as I see it as a philosophy of mine, that it's the extra inches that makes the ordinary from the extraordinary. I'm very motivated, I'm very eager from the time that I come in to the time that I leave. Even if it requires additional time, I make sure that all the tasks get accomplished, and I feel that I would be the best candidate for this position from all aspects to make sure that we create the win-win situation. I believe Westaco Independent School District would be a lot more effective if I part of the team. I consider Westaco to be a very highly technology district with the new century that we have going on with computers and technology, and I just want to be able to ensure that I attribute and add my attributes and abilities to make sure that I help out continue improve the overall district.
Okay, great, good, thank you. So we've come to the end of our questionnaires. So now, do you have any questions for us?
Yes. Well, first, it's not a question. I just want to thank you for allowing and giving me the opportunity to fulfill my dream, which is always to be an educator. So thank you for meeting with me, making time to meet with me. My question would be, now that since usually first year teachers have we all have areas of opportunity, but what have you seen as first year teacher struggles in the classroom setting?
Yes, definitely. As a principal here at Westaco, I have encountered, or I have seen our first year teachers go through a hard time adapting, right, toward the students and the students to them. So they struggle a little bit, but we definitely help them out we also have, kind of in a way, we can say we have a tutor for them or a mentor for them in case that they really can't handle like their first year, or that it's too difficult for them to adapt to, or. But most of all, we want to ensure for them to have to feel confident that they can, for them to have a relationship with their students, and then after that, everything should flow perfectly.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm glad.
That answers the question.
No, of course, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because for the past 9 years, I have spent my time managing and building relationships with my representatives.
Yes.
That has enabled me to be a better fit for Wesco ISD.
Definitely, good time management.
Yes.
Thank you. So, is there anything else that we should know about you that would help us clear out any of these questions in our interview that would help you for your position?
Well, actually, yes. I have spent, for the past few weeks observing. I put a lot of times observing teachers from different class settings, from high school to junior high, not only in the history field, but also in different fields like English and math. And what I've done, not only observing different teachers, is that I've been able to learn different abilities for class management and being able to find ways to get the students involved in the curriculum and make sure that it's not only a one-way, but it's a collaborative two-way effort. So by me knowing that, I feel that I'm a better fit for the position and being a great influence. So not only does that add to my resume already, but that puts me into a better and easier transition into the classroom setting now that I've had that experience as well. So.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad that you already come with that experience.
Yes.
So finally, we've already concluded our questionnaires, like I said. So the next process will be to continue interviewing for the rest of the afternoon. But hopefully for next week, you should hear back from us. That way we can continue with the second step of the interview process. And I'd like to thank you for taking your time to come out over here and for this interview.
You're welcome.
So, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.